The way you get to equity is through excellence, and the way we've done this is systematically across the entire district, being able to focus student by student, one child at a time, creating conditions where all students can reach their full potential. When I first started almost 7 years ago, we had to look at what was this going to be, how are we going to do a systemic approach to this, looking at it student by student. So first we changed the structure of the district so that the focus was on the main job, which is educating our students. And if we're going to talk about equity, we needed to define what do we mean by equity and how do we go after excellence. And it's through that approach district-wide that we're able to set up a structure in which the area superintendents became direct reports to myself and to our chief of staff so that we could see impact and change at Tier 1 instruction in the classroom. And we first noticed across the district we had students that were successful. Some kids, some days, in some schools, in some classrooms were reaching their full potential. But it wasn't every day in every classroom for every student across the district. So you began to look at district-wide, where do we have pockets of excellence? Where do we have places where we're actually delivering on the mission? Where have we interrupted the implicit, explicit bias? And when we found those examples, our job then is to figure out how do we lift those up, replicate them, and take them to scale. We designed our approaches in a way that we thought everything we did needed to be systemic, systematic, replicable, scalable, sustainable, equitable, and unfortunately we also had to say it had to be affordable. We had a lot of solutions around how to deliver on equity and excellence in Tier 1 instruction across every campus, but we're in a state that has had funding less than adequate. And so we had to put all of those factors together and then begin to think about putting small pilots in place to get some traction to see where things were going well. When you see where something's going well, that's the thing that you begin to replicate. And without full funding, you can't take things to complete scale. But as funding comes in, we already knew where the investments had been working and then how to expand those.